Hi everybody, welcome to this quick 9 playthrough for the date that is now displayed on the screen. Remember to check the tournament times so that you have time to play all of your holes. Please hit thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Timestamps for all the holes in the video description down below. Bear in mind these are general wind conditions you will need to tweak according to the directions you face in the quick 9. And remember, some of these are old replays, so feature the old ball attribute levels. Good luck, here we go. On this par 4, we want to be getting near to the green if possible. We're going to go with 6 topspin and 3 bars of right spin, and I'm aiming comfortably within that little fairway patch there, leaving room for a great ball on either side. If you don't have 6 bars of topspin available, you can play with 4.5, but you will have a longer wedge in this wind angle. Adjustment here is max plus 15. Now, obviously, in tailwind, you can play with a power 5 ball and bounce directly over the rough and the bunker with obviously less topspin, maybe even some backspin if you're playing with high wind strengths, and go on the green there. But otherwise, 1 ball of curl to the right here, katana or kingmaker needed for the 3 bars of side spin, and we're going to roll very nicely. You can play with the Thor's hammer or the Apocalypse as well. Second shot from here is going to be a wedge, and we're going to play it Endbringer School, but instead of 20% elevation, I'm going with 10 because this shot is uphill. So we're reducing our base elevation down to 10%. If you don't know this method, check out my Quickfire Endbringer Academy video on the tutorial playlist on the channel homepage. If you get headwind on this hole, you can still bounce at the same original aim point as my drive, but you will be at short iron range, and you can play rings from min, but beware for glitch spots on this green. But regardless of the wind angle, a good chance to get an eagle. So if you are in tournament, start with a power 4 ball. Find the min line with the power 4 ball, blue ring touching the rough on the left. Then we're going to switch to a katana, and then we're going to add spins. 3.2 backspin, 3 bars, side spin to the right. So 3.2 backspin, 3 right spin. And then here we are going max distance, 10% elevation. Max plus 10. And once we've done that, we are going to take our shot. But as always, or indeed most of the time with this hole, we do need a little bit of curl, especially playing from left side of the bunker. And you'll see here that I am adding some curl to the right edge of the ball, halfway into the wall of the adjustment ring to the right. We hit perfect here. This is not a money shot by any means, but this adjustment will get you close if it doesn't get you in. Now with this par 5, we're going to play with a side spin 3 ball. I'm using a kingmaker here, and we're using here 5 bars of topspin. It's difficult to get a consistent yardage on this drive sometimes, but the references I'm using here: yellow ring touching the rough, P3 max rest with the extra mile level 8. We're adjusting max plus 10. It's going to take us into a bit of overpower as there is some headwind. We're going to play with 0.8 ball right curl, and I'm adding on the amount of overpower I adjusted into. In this case, it was 3 rings. Clearly this drive is a lot easier in tailwind, but the idea is the same. You want to bounce over with the topspin and roll down this fairway to leave a long iron shot. Now if you roll too far, you're going to have to play the second shot with a short iron. As you can see there's the minimum distance line with my long iron. I'm using the Grizzly, and I'm playing rings from min because that gives me an accurate way of estimating my club distance. Once again, there's a tutorial about this method on the channel. Check out the Academy playlist. Top of the red ring touching the rough with the Grizzly, and then you're going to need between 1.5 and 2 bars of topspin. Depending on the wind angle, obviously if you've got tailwind, you want to leave that tip of the ball guide slightly short. Headwind, you're going to want the ball guide through the hole, otherwise you will come in short. Rings from min with 5% elevation. Take care to adjust this accurately. A bit weird when you're pulling the rings on a slope, so just ensure a very straight pull if you can. Centre the ball and hit perfect. There's a lovely channel to the pin here with this pin placement. Bouncing in the rough very nicely. Brilliant chance for your albatross. Another awkward wind angle on this par 4 here. Cross headwind. This is an aggressive drive, but if you can pull this one off, get you nicely in a good position for the eagle. 6 top spin, then we're going 2 right spin, setting up at max distance with extra mile 8. If you have low level clubs, I strongly would recommend you play on the right side in this wind angle. So max plus 10, we adjust into overpower, add a ring and a half on, so I'm going with 4 rings of overpower, outer wall curl to the right. Perfect ball is vital here. So again, if you're worried about this one or you've got low clubs, I would honestly play right hand side and then go for a grizzly approach. But if you want to go aggressive, this is the best chance of an eagle in my opinion. Perfect ball does clear the rough very nicely. Kingmaker is recommended here. I wouldn't drop down to a Titan. 395, trying to get a reference here. +1 where the rough starts. And for this rough check, I'm also trying a rings from min set up here as well. And in the end, I play this one just in between mid and min. So it's going to be around 24-25% slider. If you can't do the rough check, play back fringe check. And my suggestion for that, bullseye over the back of the fringe where it meets the green. If that is +1, I will play it 34% slider. In each case, 10% elevation and no spin. So it's basically true club distance. Now, if you want to support us on Patreon, you can do so. Details on the screen now. As part of your perks on certain days for the Quick Nines, there will be some Patreon exclusive Master General playthroughs for those holes used. So make sure you check us out there. A simple par 3 here. There's 2 options. I'm going to show you the sniper here. If you've got the sufficient backspin, we're playing with 6.1 backspin. No side spin, and I'm having the yellow ring touching the beginning of the fringe where it meets the green. Ball guide going to the hole, as you can see. Headwind here with a bit of crosswind. The other option here, people play a Goliath rough bump with some top spin, bouncing in the rough and having the ball guide to the hole. There's a few options really. All depends what suits your play style. I like the sniper though. Max +15. If you've got crosswind at all, you will need to increase the elevation or offset left or right of pin accordingly. But a brilliant chance. There's obviously not much danger on this par 3. Very big green. Put some wind angle tweaks in there and you've got a brilliant hole in one. Max +15. We see here we do have predominantly headwind. So I'm going with the extra mile and a Kingmaker just to cut the wind down. 4.5 bars top spin and 1 bar side spin to the left. That's what I'm doing here. Half of the red ring inside the rough at +3 yards with the extra mile 8. Obviously that will be +5 with the extra mile level 7. Adjustment max +10. Then we're going to take our shot. No curl or anything here, just standard shot. Focus on hitting perfect. And that we do, and we're just looking to get this ball up towards the top left corner of this piece of fairway. Anywhere around here going to be absolutely fine. 344 yards will do very nicely. Second shot, I'm playing with the big dog here just because I wanted to make sure that I'm going to reach without going into overpower. We also do need a good amount of topspin, which is why I chose the big dog on this occasion. So I'm going with 7 topspin. I do think slightly less will clear as well, but it is untested. 7 topspin, 3 right spin, and setting up there just before the top corner of this piece of fairway here. And then we're going to make our adjustment, mid +10, and then going with a good amount of curl to the right, about a ball and a half here, but just replicate this very carefully. This is a technical shot, and obviously you do want to be hitting perfect using this wood club. But we bounce on the corner, we want to just clip the rough there and roll out onto the green for a very nice putt for eagle. Hole in one now on this par 3. Start with a basic ball. Apply 0.3 topspin, then we switch to a navigator. That is because we don't want to apply any unintentional or hidden side. Switch to a navigator. If you do have high wind in the 6.8 above, I would go to a Kingmaker. Top of the white ring touching the rough. This can be played with a sniper level 7+, and we aim with the ball guide pointing at the hole. Zoom in if you want to check your alignment. It is quite difficult to see otherwise. Here we go mid distance, 20% elevation, but we use power 3 settings regardless of whether using a navigator or a Kingmaker. Wind around the mid 5s will be good, so like I said, if you do have a Kingmaker here that you can put on, it will help you. Mid +20, Power 3 bounces very nicely on the next piece of fairway and drops beautifully for a hole-in-one. So for the drive here, I am going to use 6 bars of topspin. It does help greatly with this hole, especially for the second shot. But obviously if you don't have 6 bars of topspin, then play with 4.5. Aim in the centre of the strip of the fairway with your topspin and 3 bars side spin to the right, which is why I'm using a Kingmaker. Now we are going to go with 1 ball of curl to the right, and because we adjusted into overpower and down into a lower point, I am going to go with a little bit of overpower. So perfect away, we are going to land right where we want to, and we want to try and get a good bounce and gain as much distance as possible here. Obviously if you don't have 6 bars topspin, you're going to be further away on your second shot. It's going to be with the thorn most likely, and as you can see here, I am working out my distance of club, and we are going to be between mid and max distance here on average with 6 bars of topspin. If you don't get the roll on the drive, you'll probably be closer to max distance of your short iron. So that's why I say work out your club distance, because it will vary depending on the wind and also what roll and topspin you get on your drive. So we're going to go with 4 bars of backspin, and I want to be bouncing on the fringe. Aim at the pin, but make sure you do not leave the ball guide short, because of the headwind that we've got here. It will compress the ball guide. Here I am playing in between medium and maximum distance with a 10% elevation. And then of course we want to try and hit perfect. We're right on 0, but we do get it away on time, and the backspin grabs it very nicely and it drops right before the pin for a lovely eagle. If you are enjoying the free content here on the channel and want to help out and keep everything free, then please consider making a small donation. All donations are gratefully received and help me out here on the channel, as all of the content here is produced for free in my own spare time. You can do that in one of 3 ways. You can hit the thanks button here on YouTube, you can make a PayPal donation via the link in the description down below, or you can also join us over on Patreon. Details at the end of the video. Looking at an albatross on this par 5, 6 bars of topspin, 1 bar side spin to the left. If you don't have extra mile 8, you could play this with Thor's Hammer 5 or APOC 3. If you've got lower clubs, you could even go with a big topper, but you would have to set up further back. Aim straight down the middle of that fairway on the right. Adjust max plus 10. Don't need to push up, just take a standard shot here. Perfect ball, and this will bounce over very, very nicely. And then clear the rough beautifully, of course, and we're going to roll to a drive distance, and we're looking for somewhere around 385 to 390 yards. Second shot, regardless of your position on your drive, I would suggest you always push up 10 rings from min. So find the minimum line, push up 10 rings in line with the pin, then apply spin. It is going to vary depending on your drive, but apply backspin and right spin so that you get the ball guide going to the pin. So always push up 10 rings from min, then add your spin. Find a good landing spot here, and then because we've pushed up 10 rings, we're going to always play 25% slider, 5% elevation. So in between min and mid, 5% elevation. So make sure you push up 10 rings so that the slider will work, and a perfect ball here has, in my opinion, a very good chance of dropping in this wind angle. Bounces nicely, takes the green nicely and drops for a lovely albatross on this par 5. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.